Hey there! In today's video, we will be doing a day trip from Burbank to Ventura aboard the Amtrak Surfliner. During the trip, we will show what a typical coach seat looks like, highlight the amenities that can be found aboard the train, and explore a little of downtown Ventura. We start the journey here at the Burbank Airport South Station. This is one of the 2 train stations at Burbank Airport. When booking your ticket, remember only the South Station has Amtrak service. And here's our northbound Surfliner train number 765.
Business class towards the front, coaches towards the rear, all general seating is up there.
As you heard in that announcement, all general seating is on the 2nd floor. There's also a small amount of reserve seating available on the 1st level for anyone unable to climb the stairs. If you purchased a business class ticket, your seats are located in the car closest to the engine. For carry-on size luggage, there's plenty of room upstairs above the seats. For larger bags, there are racks located on both levels of each car in case you don't want to lug them up the stairs. All seating in coach is unreserved, so pick any seat that isn't occupied. For northbound trips, I recommend sitting on the left side for brief views of the ocean. Once you are seated, a member of staff will come inspect your tickets. Here's our seat for the hour-and-a-half ride north. It has excellent legroom, overhead reading lights, and 1 power outlet per row. There's also a large tray table that could fit a laptop, and fits over my thighs with plenty of room. Under each seat is a footrest that I find useless, but someone that is not 6'4" might be able to use. Here's a hot tip. If you're taking this train from any station between Union Station and Ventura on a weekend, you can purchase a Metrolink weekend pass for $10 round trip and save $34. This is due to a co-chair agreement between Metrolink and Amtrak and is current as of spring 2025. All this talk of legroom and amenities is making me thirsty. Let's walk to the cafe car to grab a drink. As I stated when boarding, coach class is unreserved and a seat is not guaranteed during high-demand times and could become standing room only. However, I have only seen this during Thanksgiving or events like Comic-Con, but be aware if you're traveling with a large group. You can only walk between coaches on the upper level. It was great to see how crowded this train was. To open the doors to move between cars, I recommend using the lower button with your foot. Usually, the cafe is located on the lower level of car 3. There's a small seating area reserved for those who have purchased food. I'll include a link to the menu in the description below. You are allowed to bring your own food and non-alcoholic beverages aboard, but you must purchase any alcohol from the cafe car. On the way back to our seats, let's check out one of the accessible bathrooms located on the 1st level. This was quite spacious and was in decent shape. There is also a changing table for those traveling with little ones. It is a little hard to open one-handed though. It's a nice change of scenery, going from the city to the hills to the farmland. Arriving into Ventura, you'll get your first glimpse of the ocean, just in time to get off. If you're continuing north to Santa Barbara, this is where the scenic views start. This station, located next to the Ventura Fairgrounds, is very convenient to the pier and downtown Ventura. There will be a more thorough station review on our return trip in a moment. It is a quick 9-minute walk to the Mission and the start of downtown Ventura. To our surprise, the business district on Main Street is still completely closed off to vehicles. Because of this, pedestrians and bicycles can use the entire street without worrying about car traffic. This has been controversial for some residents, but seems overall well liked. We were here before most businesses were open, and the street usually fills up with people around midday. This is such a great move by the city, and I hope it stays for years to come. Okay, back to the trains. After a few hours with some friends, it's time to head back to Burbank. The Ventura downtown station is fairly quaint with no interior building for waiting. It is accessible though with a ramp at the south end. Ventura has 2 train stations, but the Ventura downtown station is the only one with Amtrak service. Amenities include a covered seating area, an informational display that seems up to date, and some vintage art.
All general seating is upstairs, upstairs. Our lower levels are for our passengers with disabilities.
Here's our southbound train number 784, which is the same train as the one we rode up here. For this return journey, we'll be using the group seating that faces each other, located at the ends of each car. This is reserved for groups of 3 or more people, but if you're in a group traveling without kids with tiny legs, I'd opt for the group seats with a table in the middle of the car that are a bit more spacious. As we pull away from Ventura, you can glimpse the ocean briefly if you sit on the right-hand side of the train. Here's an example of the food that can be purchased on board. My favorite thing about the meal was the box it was served in, though. It was decent for the price, but I would advise you to bring your own food if you can. Even though these cars have not been refurbished in a while, they're holding up fairly well, except for some of the seating fabric is starting to split. Here's an example of the restrooms that can be found upstairs. It is much more cramped than the downstairs toilet and does not have a changing table. In general, it was in good condition. It did have this odd sign that I haven't seen before. Does anyone know why you shouldn't flush while in the station? Because our train is being pushed by the locomotive, there are great views out the front of the cab car. We pass by Van Nuys Airport and wave at all the private planes before shortly closing in on the Burbank Airport South Station. Overall, this is a great way to escape the heat and head to the coast for a day trip. I really hope Metrolink and Amtrak keep this partnership, as you can't beat $10 per person to go round trip on this length of a journey. Sure, it's a tad longer than driving, but it's so nice to leave the driving to Amtrak and just relax. Thanks so much for watching. I'm off for a nap.